Hi all and welcome to a new video. While I continue working on my How to Play Legion video, which should be out by the end of August as I want it to be as accurate as possible, and I'm getting married in 2 weeks. So, yeah, starting a big video idea probably wasn't the best idea. I figured it wouldn't be a bad idea to go over each of the 7 battle forces we have. Now, battle forces are weird in that AMG is making a lot of them because they are really easy to make. However, I do think the recent large focus on them is a little annoying. I would much rather have new minis with new command cards and the Empire get a 4th battle force. When I first wrote the script, it was a 3rd battle force, and then they got one, so now it's 4th battle force. We'll go through a brief summary of every battle force and rank them along the way. This is a purely arbitrary ranking. There are combinations of how thematic, fun, meta the battle forces are. There are currently 7 battle forces, and unfortunately the top 3 are probably pretty obvious to players who have played for a while. Just because it's ranked low does not mean it is bad. I will also just be briefly discussing the command cards, because some of them do make the battle force better or worse. As an honorable mention, I am briefly bringing it up here, but technically the Shadow Collective is a battle force. I don't count it as one, as it is more of a faction. But if I don't mention it here, then I'll probably be called out in the comments, and in general, it is my personal favorite battle force. Compared to the others on this list, it has a lot more specialty units built only for it, but that's because it's more of a faction again. And starting with 7th place, the 501st Legion. The Galactic Republic has a very okay battle force. It unfortunately leans a bit too heavy into limiting what you can tank, as the Republic's strengths are its really good gun line, and limited to just Phase 2 and ARC Troopers to achieve that is a bit too much. Getting even a 9 activation list out of the chosen units can be tough without dropping otherwise useful upgrades, and the Battle Force cards are the only reason to even consider taking them for anything other than the thematic reasons. Speaking of the Battle Force cards, the Battle Force cards are focused on buffing what few activations you have, and messing with the enemy unit by using lead from the front to get 3 more 1-pips into your list. Built this way, the Battle Force can be good. However, I do believe it does limit the Republic soup that makes it a little too much. And I've honestly never seen this run even in casual play. The Battle Force is just very limiting, and the Republic doesn't have the largest selection of units to begin with. Now on to 6th place, the Echo-based Defenders. The Echo-based Defenders are the good kind of thematic. They can be built as a defensive zoning army, and while that isn't nearly as good as more aggressive armies in Legion, it can still be played casually very easily. And bringing along all the OT main characters in one army is a cool idea. The Echo-based Defenders excel at casual play as they're easy to understand and, in my opinion, can be an actual solid force under certain circumstances. The 1.4D laser cannon team are not my favorite, but they can get work done with zone control, which can be good. Everything above, however, does crumble away when you're against any player not also starting out the game, as losing a bid is a near-death sentence for this army, as it is not a defensive objective it might just lose. That being said, it's also not horrendous. It's just not good, which is why it's down here with the Republic one. Very briefly going to the cards, they are the definition of alright. Kind of okay, but not worth taking over the character cards you have access to, which is probably the worst thing about this Battle Force, because why bring it if the cards aren't good enough? Even the Republic one did have some better cards. Going into 5th place is the Separatist Invasion. This Battle Force lets you bring up to 8 Battle Droid units. Bringing 8 Battle Droid units is a massive amount of spam, and it is absolutely amazing to see on a table. The commands cards in it also support this spam of units, and the Battle Force really excels at this. You aren't limited from that many of the normal Separatist units, as you can bring most of the really good units with you as well. Going over these command cards, it is clear that they support the thematic purpose of this list. However, compared to other Separatist lists, it's really unknown if it's enough to bring it. A lot of work can be done with the 2 and 3 pip, and I think in casual play, bringing this Battle Force is near perfect. In fact, you can also bring Dooku along, or drop all the characters, just go in pure droid spam. Bring Staps along is really good. It's good, it's not perfect, but it's good. In 4th place is the Imperial Remnant, right smack dab in the middle. It is a thematic battle force for the time of the Mandalorian, or the Filoniverse. I kind of like that more, honestly. Offering more buffs to your Dark Troopers and offering an amazing mixed Empire gun line. This battle force does not have a box set. It does not have command cards. However, I do think it is still a solid choice and something you can consider bringing at any time. I think it fully deserves this placing based on how well the battle force has done to make the Empire play differently, in an interesting and fun way, and make you approach list building differently, and make you take units you normally wouldn't and see that they're actually not that bad. Now third, we're going into the Bright Tree Village Battleforce, or the Ewok Battleforce. The Ewoks are out there and quite amazing. A competitive and fun way to play Rebels that isn't just chasing the meta is fantastic and so needed. Having close to 50 minis on the field is a ton of fun, and as far as balance goes on a first pass, it doesn't seem too bad. It doesn't have a box set, however, it has come out at a much needed time when the Rebels are still struggling, but still a fun and interesting faction. Adding in the Ewoks to that as well is amazing. As far as the command cards, they're all solid. I have nearly nothing negative to say about them. They're thematic, good, and actually give a reason to run the Battle Force. Going into second is the Tempest Force. The brand new Tempest Force Battle Force rules are intriguing. They focus on a thematic empire list, heavily on vehicles and forward deploying your armies across the field. It includes a new character and a few new command cards. However, this is everything I want out of a Battle Force. It's balanced, it's fun, it's interesting. There are like 3 main different ways you can build a list, all of which are interesting and fun. And that's 3 main ways. There are so many side variations, side grades, switch outs, so many different upgrades that are worth taking. This Battle Force is amazing. It is fun. It's thematic. It has really cool rules. It has gives and takes. And it's easy to stop it from being overpowered by just bringing some ion and anti-vehicle. Because it can be kind of hard to contest objectives when you mostly have vehicles. It can be hard to maneuver well when you mostly have vehicles. There are so many drawbacks, but just reading it, nothing else has gotten me this excited about Legion in a while. And I'm probably in the minority here, but like, this Battle Force is amazing. It's fantastic. It probably came across in my video about it, but I love it. I'm in the honeymoon phase for it. It's amazing. The new command cards are great. They help a lot of making a vehicle heavy list that much better. Again, I love this. I love it, and you can tell because I put it in second. However, now time for my controversial opinion of the day. I think in first place is Blizzard Force. The Battle Force that dominated the meta for almost a year, the Blizzard Force. I think it's the best Battle Force in the game. There isn't a lot for me to say here, however, as Blizzard Force is amazing even now. It is not completely overpowered, which is a very thankful occurrence. I think this deserves top spot purely on how pivotal it has been to Star Wars Legion as a game. This one Battle Force has been the main talk and discussion for so long now, and now that it is actually more balanced, it is an amazing way to start Legion as well. You can hand anyone a Blizzard Force box and teach them to play, and they will have a fun, thematic army that can be built into so many different armies that the Empire has. Blizzard Force is good. It's controversial. It's strong. But it's also fun. It is great to have these thematic battle forces, and true, not all of them are great, not all of them are fantastic, and I think the Empire has gotten the best out of all of them, but Blizzard Force shows the good and the bad and everything all together, and now that it's balanced and more fun to play against, I truly believe it is one of the best out there. Honestly, it was really hard for me to decide between this and Tempest Force. I really love Tempest Force. All of these cards are good, none are too overpowered, but they're decisively the amazing dessert that Blizzard Force already is. That's all I have to say about the command cards. You're probably going to use at least the 2-pip, if not the 3-pip as well. The 1-pip is actually kind of fun too, because it shuts down. All of these are good. They're good. They're good. And my final thoughts are pretty generic, honestly. The Battle Forces seem to be the new direction for the game. Cannot say I'm impressed or surprised. They're easy to make and require minimal new releases. And they do add a lot to the game sometimes. I would appreciate another mass Battle Force box set release. Also, it would do a lot for the longevity of the game, and I think I could maybe get a couple more of my friends into it that way if we had more options. Leave your thoughts below, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I don't normally do ranking videos. I hope this one was formatted right. Just let me know what you think. Have a wonderful week all, and I'll do my best to have a video up next Saturday and the Saturday after, but it might not be Legion related until after another 2-ish weeks. It depends on how this all works out.